Hello, I'm Andy Zuccaro, and we're going to actually go through all the steps on how to set up an eye registration so that your material is cut in the proper location. We're going to talk about setting the optic eye sensor and some of the settings that need to be put inside the control. The first thing that you need to do is be sure that the eye registration, the optic eye registration, is in line with the mark. And you can see here, the optic eye is directly in line with the square registration mark. The next thing you need to do is be sure that the optic eye is getting a clear signal and seeing it on the sensor. So in order to do that, you would just go to the jog mode and you would jog the material slowly and verify that it does see the black mark. And right there we see when it actually indicated that it has seen the mark. And if we continue on, the eye goes off the mark and goes back to the original condition. If that is not happening, you have to go in and calibrate your eye. Now that we know that the eye is set up, it's seeing the eye mark, the next thing we do is we make a manual cut. We then go to the setup screen and we make the cut length 1.5 times longer than the actual cut piece. What that does is if it doesn't see a mark, the machine just doesn't continue on. It'll go for a distance. If it doesn't see a mark, it will then stop and give an alarm. The second thing we set is the total pieces at 1, the piece cycle to 1. We set the cut offset to 0, and the search offset we make 0.01. We want it to just go a little bit. And then after we do that, we make a cycle. And I always make 2 cycles to be sure and check the second one. So now that I've got the second one here, what I'm going to do is measure the distance from the time it sees the mark until it should be cutting. And I'm going to measure that distance. It's 3.5 inches from where I want it to cut to where it is cutting. So now I go back into my setup screen. I enter under cut offset 3.5 inches, enter, and I make 2 cycles. The first cycle will clear out where it is, and the second cycle will be actually where it should be. And here you can see where it was the first time out of registration. After I put the 3.5 inch cut offset, it cuts in the exact location. Now that I'm already set up and I know that it's cutting to the proper location, I go back to the advanced setup. I record the cut length, which is actually the maximum length. It's not a cut length, it's the maximum length before it starts. I write that number down. I change my total pieces. In this case, I'm going to make them 5. I write down the cut offset because that's the distance from the time the eye sees it until I advance the material to the right position. And the search offset. The search offset is if there's more than one mark and I want to cut multiple marks, I can make the search offset longer so that it might be able to skip 1, 2, or 3 marks, but then get to the mark I want to see, turn it on and make a cut. So I write those 3 numbers down, I change the quantity, and now I'm actually going to run 5 parts. And you can see all 5 parts are cut exactly to the register mark. If you have any other questions about our products and how they operate, check out our website for other YouTube videos. And you always can call us. We'd be happy to help you.